If you watched that last video, you'd say, hey, Joe, I already know how to put these up. You already showed me. Okay, but I'm gonna put this one up too. And it's the little one with the plastic edge all the way down there on both sides. Okay, remember this one here only has a clip. This is the only thing that holds it. Top, and then 2 clips down at the bottom. And these 2 light fixtures are almost the same width. There's one here and there's one down there. And this nice plastic one here went here, but I think these 2 are interchangeable, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're the same, okay? They're almost the same, and I'm hoping that if you have these, you don't break it, or if you break the side, or a clip is missing and you think you're going to replace it and you can't find this kind, maybe this size will fit. Okay, this looks nicer. So, I mean, obviously we've got 2 here. This is a little storage room, and this is a deep storage room down into the abyss. Okay, so I'm going to put the clear one right there, because this is the one that everybody's going to see if they come in this room. Okay, and I'll show you that in a minute. These don't take very long to put up, and I took it down again because we painted everything, and it was easier to take them down instead of leaving them up and then keeping them in a safe place, wiping them down, putting them back up. And if you just have bugs in there, you can take them down for that too. I mean, I've done that before too. And here's another room here. It's the same type of light fixture, except these aren't as wide. These are only 2 tube fluorescent light fixtures, and these are the big fat tubes. The other ones, did you notice they were thinner tubes? These have a regular ballast in it, and these are the old school, the old style. And here's the lenses for that, and I'll show you how to put those up too, and they go up just the same way as the others. Okay, here's that lip all the way down. Ah, dabbity nabbit, I gotta go get my tall ladder. It's upstairs. I'll have to bring that down. And since I'm going to bring my tall ladder here, I'll show you how on a different video. And I saw this. This is a crawl hole that goes underneath the house, and I was always looking at that, thinking, "What the heck is that little triangular thing for up there?" Kaboom! It's a door stop to keep this from banging against this exhaust vent for the heater system. And see, you think, what are you talking about weather stripping? Well, you know, they went ahead and painted this door, and I was checking it the other night, and I thought, how come it's so sloppy? And before you know it, I realized, oh, that's right, they must have taken the trim off, and if you get a little notch like that, you know that's for trim. And I looked up in there, and there's some trim. I don't know if you can see it down there. Yeah, there's the pieces right there. So I have to figure out which piece goes where. It's pretty easy to figure out, but I'll put that back down in there in a minute. It's pretty easy to do. Look at that, they even forgot to take their masking tape off. I'll have to take that off too. But it's always, if you're gonna repaint, it's always best to take your weather stripping off. This is the same type of weather stripping that if you've been watching my videos, I showed you how to take that off on an exterior door, like going from the garage to outside. It's got the same type of weather stripping. You might have thought, how does that stuff come off? Well, you just take it off with a little pair of, what did I use? I used a stiff putty knife. I use a putty knife, and usually they're straight. This one I've curved just from scraping on the floor so much. But anyways, I keep that, and I use it for stuff like that, and I just pry that stuff out. And let's see here. See, this little bit here fits right into that groove. And then you got the weather stripping that sits there, and then that pushes up against the door. It's pretty slick stuff. You can buy this at the store too. If yours is all ripped up you want to replace it. Look at that. Even that, whoever painted from before, it's got some paint droppings on it. I hate it when I get weather stripping with paint on it, so I'm gonna have to wipe that off. But can you imagine how bad this would look if they left it in there and you think, oh, I don't know how else to do it, I'll just cut it in and be real careful. No way, ain't no way you're gonna do it without getting something on there, guaranteed. Okay, so I gotta put up, I'll put that on when I come back down here to replace these light lenses with that tall ladder. But before I do that, you remember these bulbs, see how fat these bulbs are? And I'll take you back into this other room. You can look at these bulbs and it's like, what? How come these are thinner? See how thin these bulbs are? Here, I'll turn the light off so you can see a little better. This is a 4-tube light fixture. See how thin those tubes are? And you look in here, and here's big tubes again. Here's fat tubes. I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn the light off on this one too. I'll find it. There's not much light in here. Let's see if I can get you a little bit more. Okay. See that? These are big fat tubes. And if you see that on your light fixtures, when you go to the store, you think, what's the difference? One tube is the same. I'll just get the thin tubes next time. No, you better talk to the guy at the hardware store first, because most light fixtures are not set up if you take the big tubes out to replace them with the small tubes, because usually the small tubes are hooked up to electronic ballasts inside that rail. There's a ballast. There might be one ballast for 2 tubes and another ballast for 2 tubes, or there might be one ballast that connects for all 4 tubes. They've got different ballasts for different things. So even when you go to the store, make sure you get the right ballast. Okay, if your bulbs, let's say if your bulbs you think are burned out, you put in brand new bulbs, you think, what's going on here? How come the bulbs aren't working? Those must be bad bulbs. You go back to the store, you get some other ones, you wait in line to return the other bulbs, muttering underneath your breath, thinking, oh man, my luck, just you know it, I get some. And incidentally, when you get bulbs at the store, sometimes out of 50 bulbs, you might get 1 or 2 that are bad. I've had it, I've seen it happen before. But more times than not, that happens, and you go home and replace your bulbs, you find out that the ballast is bad. And you think, oh, I better call up an electrician, because I don't know how to replace that. You can do it. I don't know if I have any videos that show how to do that or not, but you could talk to a guy at the electrical department. You might have to disconnect your ballast, make sure your power's off, disconnect your ballast, take your ballast in and match it up, or take a picture of the ballast and show the guy what you got. Take a picture of the whole light fixture with the big bulbs and your ballast and all that kind of stuff. But lots of times, like this one, this has an electronic ballast. It's a lighter ballast, it's a more efficient ballast, and it's set up to take these I forget what bulbs these are called, T12. Let's see what that says. I'll turn this off. I don't know if we can see this or not. Ooh, T8. You see that? It says F32 T8. Those are T8 bulbs. Those are the thin ones. And the T12s, I guess these in here. I haven't checked lately on stuff, but I think these are T12s. Let's see. We can see what it says up there. No? I've not seen it. You'll just have to. Now I'm looking up at that one up there, and I can't see it. But there is a difference. You can't just replace thick ballast or thick bulb tube. Those are called 4-foot tubes, lamps. You can't replace thicker one with a smaller one. Sometimes they work, but then they'll burn out and they're not good for it, I've heard. And so you want to get like for like. But enough of that. Let me go get my ladder. I'm going to get my ladder, and I'm going to quickly show you how to install these two as well as the other two. I'll be right back. See all the stuff you learn when you watch my videos? Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Now I got to get back up there and clean that off. I guess I better get a damp rag and maybe my sponge that's got a little rough side on it and clean that up.